are shrouded in secrecy. Research labs around the country where confidential work is done to advance science and improve human health. Much of the work in these labs is performed on animals, including chimpanzees and other primates, entrusted to the labs to be safely and humanely treated. But who would know if they're not? Tonight, Lisa Fletcher brings us the results of a 9-month undercover investigation into the largest chimpanzee research facility in the country. And we warn you that some may find some of this video disturbing.
Tucked into a rural corner of Louisiana, a few miles from Lafayette, an unexpected compound springs from the landscape. It is the nation's largest primate testing lab, housing more than 6,000 primates and the nation's largest number of chimpanzees. The New Iberia Research Center is a public facility. Research done here includes contract work for pharmaceutical companies and other medical research, including hepatitis studies. And though the lab receives millions in public funding, it endures limited public scrutiny. Nightline has exclusively obtained the results of a 9-month undercover investigation by the Humane Society of the United States, who says this footage, shot by their insider, shows how monkeys and great apes are treated behind closed doors.
Facilities are very secretive in general. Going undercover in a place is the only way you'll see what's the truth.
This Humane Society investigator, who asked that we disguise her identity, took a hidden camera inside the New Iberia Research Center for most of 2008.
When you think back, what is the hardest memory to relive?
Shooting these terrified chimps with dart guns really stands out. That's really horrific to me.
Look at this undercover video. The investigator says chimpanzees, often perched several feet off the ground, are shot with sedation guns, with little regard for their safety.
The sedated chimp would be sort of rocking slowly on the perch, and then out of nowhere, it just smacked to the floor. It was horrific to watch and to hear.
In this footage, the investigator says a lab employee wants the monkey to open his mouth.
The man is sort of threatening him with this pole and smacking his teeth at the same time.
He strikes the monkey's teeth 3 times. This employee hits an infant monkey in the head after the baby bites at her finger. The Animal Welfare Act, the law designed to protect these primates, requires labs to ensure that procedures avoid or minimize distress or pain, and that animals be handled with proper care.
This is a baby who's completely alert, completely awake, completely aware of his surroundings, and he's getting a substance forced down his throat, and he's screaming, and he was terrified throughout this. And you can hear the screams of other babies and mothers.
The Humane Society video appears to support claims made by 2 other former New Iberia Research Center employees.
It sort of looks out of place. A big multi-million-dollar facility like that in Lafayette.
They are not by a major city, so they don't attract a lot of attention, and they've used that to their advantage.
Nariman Fake was the coordinator for 100 chimpanzees at the New Iberia Research Center. She worked there from fall of 2002 until February 2004. She says she was told to quit or be fired after repeatedly complaining about what she says were illegal and abusive practices at the lab. She has since filed a lawsuit against New Iberia as a whistleblower.
I am for the responsible use of animals in research.
You've worked at a lot of labs, a lot of prestigious labs. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing like this. I've seen rats and mice treated better than this.
New Iberia says that Fake chose to quit and that her allegations of abuse were false and not made until after she left the lab. An oversight board rejected her claims of abuse. Nightline also interviewed a 3rd former employee who chose not to go on camera. That employee spoke in detail of practices similar to what appears in the video, including monkeys hit in the teeth with a pipe. Neither that employee, Fake, nor the Humane Society investigator have ever met. They all worked at the facility at different times between 2002 and 2008.
Do you think by making all of those concerns known that things have changed since you left?
My gut feeling says no.
I want to look at some video that we have.
This is the first time Fake learns the Humane Society video exists, much of it apparently supporting claims she made years ago.
They're still at it. Nothing's changed. It's about the money. Okay, there's big bucks in this research, especially chimp research.
What are we talking?
Millions and millions of dollars.
What is it about primates that makes them different, particularly chimpanzees?
They have very complex emotions. Their social life is very rich.
Dr. Martin Stevens works for the Humane Society of the United States and reviewed the undercover footage from New Iberia.
The spinning around in the cages, the biting of open wounds, self-mutilation, those are classic indicators of frustration, neuroses, and even psychoses.
All three former employees told Nightline they witnessed similar scenes of distress and that animals were anesthetized without proper care at New Iberia.
You saw a monkey slide off a table because he was unattended and crashed to the floor. That's outrageous.
All three also said that some of the housing was not safe or appropriate for the primates.
Some of these cages had holes in them, some of them were sort of loose on the bottom and allowing these monkeys to get stuck.
Another alleged violation, sedated chimpanzees apparently being transported without protection or restraint.
That's exactly how we transported. We're in the back with an anesthetized chimp who could wake up at any moment. The direction was, if he wakes up, run. My building was close to a daycare.
The University of Louisiana and New Iberia declined repeated interview requests, but said the allegations are without merit and issued a statement saying the center has made numerous contributions, including development of vaccines for the prevention of hepatitis, mumps, measles, and chickenpox. We have a clearly stated and direct no-tolerance policy when the welfare of any animal in our care is threatened, and we will continue to strictly enforce that policy. The National Institutes of Health gave New Iberia nearly $18 million in federal funds for chimpanzee research between 2000 and 2009. They also declined Nightline's interview requests in favor of a statement, saying, thanks to research involving primates, countless lives have been saved. NIH monitors compliance to ensure the humane care and use of the animals being studied.
I tried as much as I could to give the chimps some one-on-one attention. What kept me going was knowing that this video will be released.
Are you losing faith in the system?
I've lost faith in the system, and this is a system that I have defended over the years. My fear is that's what's going on in all the primate facilities around this country. And if that's the case, then a tragedy is occurring right now. Flat out, a tragedy is occurring.
This is Lisa Fletcher for Nightline in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Tonight, the Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack, told us he was ordering, quote, a thorough investigation of animal welfare practices at the New Iberia Research Center, unquote, based on the Humane Society's investigation and Nightline's reporting. And our thanks to Lisa Fletcher for that.